Blockchain gaming, elevating the esports experience to new heights.
Hello everyone, my name is Roman. I'm executive producer for MagicCraft. MagicCraft is a play-to-earn video game with tournament-ready, skill-based game model. I have a background in AI. I'm in crypto since 2013, and today I'm going to talk about blockchain gaming, how it can elevate esports to a different level, and also I'm going to talk about transition from Web 2 to Web 3 gaming, challenges and solutions to those challenges. So let's begin. So, a couple of words about the industry. Web 2 is $300 billion industry. So it's a huge industry. About 3 billion gamers worldwide playing video games. And just for comparison, lifetime revenue of PUBG, which is PlayerUnknown Battleground, was $9 billion. Now about Web 3. Web 3 is $3 trillion market cap industry, which is compared to Web 2 gaming 10 times as much. 320 million people in the world, they own crypto, which shows that the potential for expanding Web 2, transition from Web 2 to Web 3 gaming is 10x potential. And then for comparison, market cap of Axie Infinity, all-time high capitalization is $10 billion. So what about player or user profile of Web 2 gamer versus Web 3 gamer? So what player demographic is in Web 2? 51% male, 49% female, mostly remain committed to certain genres of games. So Web 3, for comparison, age 18 to 34 years old, 71% male, 29% female, and they switch between genres in search of better opportunities. So what are the key interests? Traditional gaming, people mostly looking for entertainment and fun, while in Web 3, people looking for finance, technologies, and SaaS. And what are their motivation? In Web 2, motivation for people is to get fun, relax, socialize, and get achievements. So it's basically fun-based motivation. Whether in Web 3, motivation is financial, mostly financial. So in Web 3, people motivated by investments, earning, achievements, and belonging to the crypto space. So different motivation, financial versus fun. So what about gamers? So 89% gamers aware of Bitcoin, 51% aware of NFTs, 3% own NFTs, 52% unfamiliar with any type of Web 2 gaming term, 12% have tried playing Web 3 games, 56 of those played Web 3 game did it for earnings, and 18% researched crypto last 6 months. Crypto non-gamers, at least 62% own NFT, 85 of NFT owners own NFT related to Web 3 game. So what does it show? It shows that only 3% of total gamers, they own NFT. And then only 12% have tried playing Web 3 game, which means that only 12% from 3 billion people who play worldwide, they tried to play Web 3 game, which makes market potential of 2.7 billion people to be transitioned from Web 2 to Web 3, which is enormous. So let's talk about main issues that we have in Web 3 space, Web 3 gaming space. What are the main issues? So Web 3 users mostly interested in investments rather than in gaming itself, which is true in fact. Most people in crypto, they interested in financially, monetary. So they're interested in investment opportunities and earning potential rather than gaming and interested from gaming. Web 2 players hesitant to accept innovation from Web 3 and the blockchain. So quite a few people from Web 2, they don't want to get involved in crypto. They don't want to install wallets. They don't want to get educated about crypto. So they just want to have fun and play the games. Current level of Web 3 games, too low for sophisticated Web 2 players. So there's another huge issue that Web 3 games level of Web 3 games is not good enough for Web 2 gamers, which get used to very high quality games with AA type games. And in order for Web 3 games to get to that level, it would take some time. App Store, Google Play restrictions. So as you know, App Store and Google Play, they have restrictions for all crypto-related gaming and non-gaming apps. They want to have their 30% cut on all transactions that are being performed within the apps. So they're currently restricting all blockchain applications that have any crypto functionality, NFT functionality from App Store and Google Play. So there should be a solution to work around that. And Web3 technology infrastructure too complicated for Web 2 gamers. So basically it's an issue of onboarding Web 2 people to Web 3 by introducing them to, educating them about blockchain, introducing them to Web 3 wallets functionality. So that's another challenge that needs to be solved. So what are the solutions to those problems? So in MagicCraft, we approach that by introducing hybrid platform, which means we create Web 2 based game that's available on App Store and Google Play. People can play the game by installing it with one click. They don't need any wallets or any crypto-related knowledge to play the game. Everything is the same as for all other Web 2 games, the way they used to. And then we have a Web 3 system on our own infrastructure that user can go to, connect their wallet, and enable all crypto-related functionality within the game. So those two modules, those two pieces of the system, they're completely separate. So that solves two issues. Number one, it solves the issue of transitioning Web 2 users to Web 3, because Web 2 user doesn't need to have any crypto knowledge in order to start playing the game. They just click a button and they start playing. And number two, we're still convinced that Apple and Google restrictions of them trying to have their 30% cut, and then we have all blockchain functionality on our own side, on our own infrastructure, on our side. So that solved this issue as well. So Google and Apple doesn't know anything about our Web3 service. Web 2 game, which is in the store, it's nothing to do with crypto. And those are some of the principles that we follow. Game first development, that first of all it should be top level Web 2 game that most of the people would expect, Web 2 users would expect. Simplifying the crypto elements, so gradually introducing Web 2 players to Web 3 with crypto gifts. For example, giving a person NFT gift in order for a player to connect their wallet on our own website and give some free tokens as an incentive to do that. Simple tutorials that would guide a person through the process of transitioning from Web 2 to Web 3, introducing to crypto wallets, etc. And acceptable entry barrier. So let's talk a bit about eSport, how Web 3 can elevate eSport experience. So it's obviously decentralization, like how classical tournaments are being organized. So it's a centralized organizations that get funding, they get sponsorships, and they organize the tournaments, and they allocate some portion of those funds to the prize pool. Some of that portion goes to the tournament organizers, and then that's usually not transparent process, and then it's sometimes it's not the best in the best interest of players and the community. So with Web3 we can decentralize that process. which means the community can organize the tournament instead. Play-to-earn model, which I spoke about before. Real ownership and control. As you know, blockchain enables people to own and control their assets, and their funds that they are committed to the tournaments as well. Direct instant payments, cross-chain, and DAO governance that can be enabled for tournaments organizations. So, what are the benefits of transition esport to the blockchain? Fair play and sponsorship and sportsmanship, meaning that tournaments on blockchain are transparent. Blockchain, by the definition, is transparent and immutable. So all the transactions, all the records on blockchain are immutable and transparent. So all people, every participant can look at the records at any time and see what's happening on the blockchain, meaning they would see what's happening in the tournament and gaming infrastructure. Teamwork and communication, community involvement and fan base. So tournaments on blockchain can be organized by the community. So community commits their funds to fund the prize pool for their favorite teams, and then their favorite teams or players use those funds to participate in the tournaments, and then if they win, portion of those funds will go to the community who founded the participation. Also, that obviously involves innovation and creativity, and then rewards and prize pools can be quite large because crypto is the largest space. There are a lot of finance, and then prize pools can reach pretty high numbers compared to traditional tournaments, which mostly media oriented. And well, it involves entertainment and passion. So, how Web3 powered tournament would work? So, as I mentioned, prize can be formed by a community. So, community forms the prize for the tournaments, meaning people, fan base, fans of their favorite teams, they can commit their tokens, their crypto, they support their players and their teams, and then in that way they form a prize pool, which can be many orders of magnitude higher than the current prize pool for the tournaments, because it's a direct commitment. Also rewards for fans who pick predictable events, so it's just like a betting for match outcomes. Betting is a huge domain by itself. It unlocks multi-billion-dollar industry for eSports. So betting on blockchain enables decentralized approach that taps in, as I mentioned, multi-billion-dollar industry. So that's something that blockchain has a huge potential in. NFT-enabled merge, community-sponsored players and teams, as things that I already mentioned, and transparent and immutable games and data with statistics. So, how do we approach that? We do it in a way that we create a Steam. If you're familiar, Steam is game publishing platform. So it's basically a Steam for Web3 games, a publishing platform for Web3 games, where you can create games, you can organize matches, you can create tournaments, and then players, they buy tickets for those tournaments with our native token. And when the match is over, they're being paid in that native token directly to their wallets. Also, players can organize tournaments, they can bet on their favorite teams, and then if the team wins, they get the rewards back into their through their wallets automatically. That enables Web2 titles such as League of Legends, Dota 2, any Web2 title that you can imagine to enable Web3 functionality without Web2 games even knowing about existing of this betting system. So it works in a way, if you can imagine a game of football or a game of poker or a game of basketball, and there are third-party betting services that enable betting for those games. And then tournament organizers of, like, let's say football event, they don't even know about those betting solutions. That's a similar principle is here. So Apple and Google when we publish on those platforms, they don't even know about betting system that might exist. So they would pass Web2 game, but then crypto is separate. Crypto part is separate for that. It's on our own infrastructure. So we can enable Web3 functionality for multiple Web2 titles with ease in this way. So you can see some of the features of the platform. It's a spectator mode where people can spectate, can look at the games, watch the games of their favorite teams and players, and then they can do it in real time, and then they can earn rewards in real time, NFTs and tokens in real time, special events and tournaments that you can organize in the system, and then creating teams, betting on the teams, etc., etc. Those are some of the features, the scaling features that we're planning to do in the future. So socialization, clans, multiplayer hub, fraction systems, different game modes, battle royale, game mode editor, ranked arena, etc., etc. Pet system, clan wars, house building, and map NFTs. Important part of that are NFTs that players can own, which gives them a percentage of all the rewards that that people earn inside the game. So we do it in a way that we create map NFTs, and then all people who play on the map owned by a specific person would direct portion of their rewards to the owner of the map, which enables people to invest in the game by buying in-game assets. So that's it. Thank you for your attention. Can I ask? If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. I would be glad to answer.
Hello? Okay. I'm very interested in what you think about regulation. So, you know, when you're talking there, blockchain, NFTs, a lot of what is, you know, if you have stake, risk, rewards, that surely needs to be regulated. So just being on the blockchain, just something being on chain and smart contracts and stuff like that, it technically eliminates the need for regulators because the smart contract is the regulator. But what's your thoughts on that? Because I think it's a massive grey area. I think this is a bun fight that's going to happen very shortly. But I'd love to know your thoughts, actually. Yeah,
thank you very much. That's a very good question, and it's something that we've been discussing quite a lot. And in terms of regulations, there are two elements to that. So number one is token itself. So the token can be perceived and can be distinguished as a security, and then it might cause some issues. So number one, we're always trying to, on all projects that we advise to and our own projects, we're trying to make it in a way that token won't be, there is less chance that token would be recognized as a security. That's number one. And number two, as you mentioned and you point out in the correct way, that we're creating decentralized systems. So this Web3 based betting, I would say betting system, we don't call it betting, it's Web3 tournament system with like some betting capabilities, etc., is decentralized. So it's smart contract based. So everyone can interact with those smart contracts even if our website will go down. So it's similar to decentralized exchanges in its base core concepts such as Uniswap, PancakeSwap. So you cannot take down a smart contract unless you take down the entire chain. So even if our website, our service will go down, the Web3 system would still function. So there is nothing pretty much you can do or regulators can do to take it down. And from our side, we just deploy that system and it's available out there for people to use. So in terms of regulation, we are pretty much on the decentralized side here. And in that way, we solve this, approach the situation and solve this pretty much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your attention. didn't see the screen there, quite convenient.
Hi, I'm Konstantin from Live2App. I'd like to ask, do you make a game or just a marketplace, or not marketplace, a betting system for other games?
Right. Yes, it's very good question. We create a play-to-earn video game, which is called MagicCraft, and we also create this Steam-like Web3 system, which enables other games to use Web3 functionality. As I mentioned, this system can be used for titles like League of Legends or Dota 2 or Fortnite, any game that has PvP element. It can be used together with our Web3 system. So this Web3 system enables Web3 functionality for Web2 games. So for our game and for other games as well.
Is it a browser game or a PC-based game?
So it can be any game. So it's as long as we can fetch the events from the game, like a winning event, the information that would allow Web3 system to function, we can use any type of game. So for example, our game, MagicCraft, is a mobile first, but also we have a PC version. So we are on Android, iOS, and PC as well.
And what is the game you use? Unity? What do you use?
We use Unity, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question.